What's going on, Paisanos? V here, and I'm not coming with you in a marker watch, though I am uploading one, and this is what it says on the back end. I put a video out, 41 minutes. It's gonna be a little late today, but overall, I think it's a great video. If you guys haven't checked it out, check out my marker watch POV. You just woke up with $1,400 richer, and I think it's a great marker watch. But that's not what today's video is about. Today's video is about the top 5 decks post ban list. Now, we don't know what the ban list is. The ban list could be super bad. Konami could just go, Wabakuda won. And you're like, what? And the Konami's like, you heard me, we worked really hard, Wabakuda won. And you're like, that doesn't solve anything. They could do that. They have definitely done things like that in the past. All the bans in which I think we're all predicting is going to be huge. And I do think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to really reshape the way we play the game and challenge all of us as players. Casual, competitive, and maybe in collectors as far as analyzing what they want to pick from the market as whatever's left. Because, once again, everyone's about to get $1,400. So, I have 5 decks I do think are going to be the best decks of the meta starting out. That can always change. Number 1... Actually, I'll start with number 1. Number 1 is going to be Eldritch. Eldritch is easily going to be one of the best decks in the meta. I mean, you might say they might hit Sanguine. Sure, that's cool. That's fine. The deck's still good. The deck has 2 of the spells that aren't as good as Sanguine, but enough there to make this deck still good. To make it still a tier 1 deck. And in a slower meta, which I do think that's the angle we're going to be going with, this deck just thrives. The more we got to focus on our resources, the more this deck challenges you as a player to utilize them properly. Make a mistake, and your opponent gets up on you, that means he's winning the game of attrition, and you are losing it. Eldritch, and whatever variant of Eldritch, by the way, it could be pure Eldritch. We're seeing that in OCG. Eldritch Zodiac. I don't think Eldritch Boomerang will be around. Hopefully it won't be around. But different Shadow Eldritch, like different variations of Eldritch is going to be here. And this is my number 1 pick as far as like what I do think is the best deck. If you go V, I gotta choose one deck, I would say Eldritch, 100%. Number 2, pure Zodiac. I do think in a slower meta, Zodiac pure becomes better due to the fact that you just can clear your opponent's board. Once again, if we're playing a game of attrition, if my one card can wipe your entire board, that's a pretty good card. We can both agree on that, right? Looking at Zodiac, I do think it has potential to be that card. I also think Zodiac has the ability to, especially in a slower format, play longer turns. And if I'm dropping a Zeus on you every single turn, you better have ways to use those resources properly, or else you're just giving me a free board wipe every single turn with one card. This deck is absolutely busted. Then we have Prank Hits. Now you might go, V, if Maxi comes to 3, this deck's dead, right? Yes and no. I do think Prank Hits definitely take a hit with Maxi coming to 3, but then again, alternatively, I do see this deck still being viable due to the fact that they have Prank Hits Fusion, which allows them to fuse on your turn. That's pretty broken. And I do think with that happening, I think we would see a deck like Prank Hits not necessarily need to be forced to play on their turn, as they're currently doing right now, but also be forced to play on your turn, which I do think the deck can adapt to relatively easily. You might get a +1, maybe a +2 in Maxi, but for you getting that, they're getting the ability to play on your turn, which is a big deal. Up next, Tri-Brigade Lureless, or maybe even another Tri-Brigade variant. Tri-Brigade is not going anywhere. And even though, once again, the meta does slow down, this deck definitely needs to value its resources more, it can easily do that. And I do think Tri-Brigade, even Tri-Brigade Lureless, like I just said before, has the ability to not only play around Maxi, but put your opponent in a position where they better have it. And I do think that this deck is phenomenal at doing that. A lot of players already looking at this deck and picking this deck in the preparation of the bans, and I do think it's a great pick. Another thing that I would say arguably could be tied for the first place spot, which is Eldritch, is Shadows. Shadows is a phenomenal deck, and in a slower format, this deck thrives. I mean, the slower the format, the better Shadows become. Shadows will try to slow the format down themselves. They have a format slowing card called Window. Perhaps you heard of it. It's a really good format card to just go, I know the format's really fast, but here's a new rule. Respect this rule, or else you're gonna just get bodied by my... And by the way, you're gonna get bodied if you don't get rid of this card. Looking at Shadows in general, though, I do think with Shadow Schism coming out, it makes it like infinitely more consistent and allows Shadow players to not only play on their turn, but also your turn with Schism. You can say Shadow Fusion as well, but Schism is just such a better card, well, due to the fact that it could also send if they bring out a Shadow monster and they have a monster of the same type on your side of the board, which is a big deal. It punishes your opponent for doing nothing other than trying to play around Shadows. That's huge. And I do think Shadows is definitely a deck we're going to see more play of moving forward in the future. I do think this deck is a big deal for players that don't really respect it right now, but they're going to learn what this is. You know what? I did top 5. Let's throw a bonus 6 one in, because I do think Burning Abyss is also a great deck. The best format in Yu-Gi-Oh! Arguably is the Trinity format, and the best 2 decks out of that format is Shadows and Burning Abyss. Why are they the best? Because these decks play off each other so well. They have the perfect anti-synergy against each other constantly. And I do think with Shadows, and I do think with Burning Abyss, I think we're going to see them play against each other again in the beginning of the format. We're going to see a dominant Burning Abyss decks versus dominant Shadow decks in a battle of who could win. Shadows definitely have an advantage to Super Musician, by the way, which has many variations of its printings, which makes it easier for you to get, but Burning Abyss has amazing Burning Abyss traps that everyone kind of forgot about. And when I mean everyone kind of forgot about, hold on, well, okay, whatever. When I mean everyone forgot about, I'll show you. One of the traps they have is Fire Lake of the Burning Abyss. This card is pretty good. You send 2 Burning Abyss face-up monsters to the graveyard, then target 3 cards on the field and destroy them. That's pretty insane. Now, it has a target, so it's not as powerful as it used to be. Though I will say, if you are looking to send cards and really punch your opponent, you can also use Forbidden Droplet, and you still get Burning Abyss effect. So, they do have Forbidden Droplet versus Steel Poly, if you want to look at it that way. But I'm not even caring about this card. The card I'm caring about... Hold on, that one's the ugly one. The card I'm caring about is Travel and the Burning Abyss. Would it be cool if we had Soul Charge back? What if your deck had Soul Charge as a trap card? Because that's what Burning Abyss has. They have Soul Charge as a trap card, and everyone forgot about how broken this card is. Target any number of Burning Abyss monsters in your graveyard that would sent there this turn. Special summon them in defense mode. You can only activate 1 Travel with Burning Abyss per turn. What? Hold on. This card Soul Charges as a trap card. Burning Abyss players, you forgot about this. The meta didn't. The game didn't. Yeah, it has a gold printing, but Dual Alliance is definitely better. But, like, this card's a big deal for BA players. And even though I said top 5, I think we're at almost, what, 6? I want to throw in Dracos as number 7. Because I think Dracos' ability to recur allows them to play mid-range really well. And I would love to see Dracos, well, start making their way into the meta, which I do think they're going to be already. Just by what they are. We get the Green Draco, Dynamite Knight to 2. Maybe even 2 Diagrams, which I think is going to happen. And then only get me started on Masterpiece. I do treat Dracos as yet another deck, so we'll do top 7, I guess. Dracos is another deck that definitely has a lot of potential. And I do think the meta we're going to see is it could be diverse, but diverse to these decks that are phenomenal, outplaying you at turn 3, 4, and 5. Because that's what the meta is going to be demanding of these players and these decks. I do think we're going to get new cards. It's going to definitely change and challenges, obviously. But as starting off this meta, these are the cards I would recommend you pick up. Cards like Dracos is like $5 for the whole card. It's like insane cheap. Burning Abyss is relatively inexpensive, with Dante being commons. Shadows literally came in a starter deck. Trapagates are a little bit expensive, but like it's a really nice deck though. Well, I guess Fractal is the money card. Praying Kids, if you haven't bought them already, you're going to be paying primo $1. Looking at Zodiac, you can get them relatively low rarity. The thing is, you're going to need at least 2 Zeus. And if you're looking to play Ellic, luckily for you, Golden got a reprint. But Curse LN is still high in value. Hopefully, you have some of the cards from some of these decks. These will be the decks that will lead the next meta. Anyway, Paisans, I really appreciate you guys watching my video. Subscribe if you're not subscribed already. It's your boy V. You guys all have a great day.